In this video, I wanted to talk about the 5 challenges that I see buyers facing in this market. And these are things that have been going on for quite a while, a couple years back, but they seem more rampant now because of the real estate climate that we're in, and especially what is also happening around the world. So, without further ado, here's 5 challenges buyers are facing in this market. Hi, my name is Nekabari, licensed realtor with Howard Hanna. Welcome to Real Talk Realtor, where I simplify residential real estate with the terms, the process, and strategies. If you're new here, all I need you to do is click on the subscribe button and make sure you hit the bell notification icon right next to it, so every time I put out new content, whether it's a podcast, a new video, or anything else, you'll be the first to know. So how I wanted to do this ranking is I wanted to go from bottom to top. So start with 5 and then go all the way down to what I think my number 1 reason that this market is so challenging for buyers is. So starting with number 5, I'll say time. Time is one of the things that buyers don't have in this market. The urgency of practices such as delayed negotiations and delayed showings has actually taken a lot of time from buyers, because with delayed showing, you're not able to see the property yet. It's available online, the pictures and descriptions, and all of that is available to you to look at, but only online. It's delaying you being able to view the property. And then there's delayed negotiations, which means now you can go take a look at the property, but you have to make that decision if you like this property, if you want to make an offer on this property rather quickly. You know that you're also in the same boat as other people that have to make that same decision too. So not being able to have the time to be able to consider, to be able to think about, is there something else, or what if I wait? So essentially, if you see something, you have to decide then and there if you want it. Another factor we see with time is, normally if you could have a longer showing where you can bring others with you as well, you don't have that same capability anymore. Instead, showings are sometimes limited to 30 minutes or 15 minutes or even less because of how competitive a property may be. Now, the 4th challenging thing about this market for buyers are sellers are more pickier. Now, of course, that should be the case because sellers have the advantage. Anytime you have an advantage in something, you might as well exercise those rights. Sellers can essentially determine what they want to be picky about. And it's not always the highest offer that wins. I always talk about it's the terms. So sellers can look at the terms, they can look at the type of mortgage that they would want to get. They can look at anything within the contract and decide that's what we want. They're looking at the closing date, the commitment date. They're looking at the mortgage lender. They're looking at the loan to value ratio. They're looking at what kind of financing the buyer's using. They're looking at if they're contingent buyers. So with multiple offers, they have a lot more options and they have a lot more things to look at their disposal. The 3rd thing that is still challenging, and especially because of the times we're in, is that cash is still king. I've had my buyers lose out on properties because a cash offer came in. And these were properties that, offers were made well over asking price for them. So to be able to still have cash transactions in this market, it was quite surprising. So this would be a good time that if you have any couch cushions or, pillow shams, go through those and see if there's some cash in there, because it certainly would help you with your offer, especially in this kind of a market. We're down to the 2nd reason this market is challenging for buyers, and that is the pandemic. Now, the pandemic makes it more challenging to be able to transact real estate in general, but actually, I would argue that it affects buyers a little bit more. Buyers are kind of in a lose-lose situation. It's already a seller's market. They already know all the difficulties or the challenges that comes with it being a seller's market and make the decision, I'm going to go and do real estate in a pandemic. And that means it's going to be complicated to showings when showings are available, because sellers have to choose when they feel comfortable that they can allow buyers in their home. Buyers don't have much of an option to be able to view a house and also make a decision on it. Buyers can view a home in 3 different ways, essentially. They can either go to the property, they can send their agent in to view the property, or they can get a virtual tour from the sellers. There's a lot of forms to sign. The time is limited to be able to view those properties. You're trying not to get sick or, catch the virus because you're just looking to buy a piece of real estate. The number 1 challenge that buyers are facing in this market is limited availability. If you guessed limited availability, give yourself a round of applause. Sellers now have more reason now than ever to not want to leave their house or put up their property for sale. There's limited availability because, especially being that we're in a pandemic, Sellers have a lot of reason to not allow people in their home, to not put their home up in the market, and also because then they'll be on the back side of the transaction. Because if they sell their home and they have a home to buy, then they become the buyers, and then they will feel the challenges that are in this market. Those are my 5 reasons that I think this market is challenging for buyers. But you know what? I think it's going to get better. It's not going to get better because I think it's going to switch to a buyer's market anytime soon, but I think it's going to get better because the spring market is coming, and I think that there's going to be a lot of positivity in the market for essentially more sellers to want to join the market and put their homes up for sale. Now that's good for buyers because it gives you more options, and if there's more options, there will be more inventory to choose from. Thank you for watching, and if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe and check out the Real Talk Realtor podcast. You can find it wherever you listen to your podcasts, and it's free. My name is Nekabari, the Realtor, and I'll see you in the next one.